Hi everyone, welcome to Yoga for Beginners. Let's get started with some breathing. We'll use a block or a blanket to just have a seat in our cross-legged position here in the easy pose. And start to ground down through your sits bones. Lift up through the crown of your head. Draw the shoulders back and down and tuck your chin slightly. So you can close your eyes here, just give a nice soft gaze towards the floor. Breathing in and out through the nose. And just beginning to slow the breath down here. Maybe allowing that exhale breath to be slightly longer than your inhale. And from here, just maybe starting to blink the eyes open. On your next exhale, drop your chin to chest. Allow your head to be nice and heavy and shoulders relaxed away from the ears. And we'll just work this curvature of the neck here. Inhaling ear to shoulder, exhaling back to center, and inhaling toward the other side. So keep going and just continue to move at your own pace with your breath. And maybe even hanging out on one side or the other. A few shoulder rolls can feel good. And just breathing into any tight areas that you might be experiencing right now. Make your way back to center. Inhale the head up. Go ahead and extend your arms out to a T in line with your shoulders. Open nice and wide. Exhale. Give yourself a hug. A little side to side rock here can feel good. Inhale, open. Exhale, opposite arm on top. Little hug. Inhale, bring your arms to goalpost position. We're going to bring the arms out in front and right arm under the left here. And we're going to come into eagle arms. So bringing hands together if possible. If not, that's okay. Lift the elbows. You should feel the stretch maybe behind the shoulder blade. And maybe a little rock side to side here can feel good. Continue to breathe. Inhale here at center. And then exhale, fold at your hip creases. Just fold forward just a bit. Breathe. Inhale, make your way back up. Release your grip. Open the arms nice and wide. Inhale. Exhale, give yourself a hug. A little rock side to side. Inhale, open. Exhale, opposite arm on top. A little hug side to side here. Come on back to center. Arms at goalpost, bring the arms out in front of you. Swing this left arm under the right this time, and maybe bring hands together if that's available to you. Inhale, lift up through the elbows, a little rock side to side. Opening up any areas of tightness, breathing into those areas of tightness. Make your way back to center. Inhale the elbows up, and then exhale, fold at your hip creases once more. Wherever you land is okay. Breathe. Inhale, make your way back up to seated. Release your grip. Open the arms nice and wide. Inhale. Exhale, one more hug. Inhale, open. Opposite arm on top this time. Release your grip. Give a few shoulder rolls back and forward. And then let's go ahead and come off of the block. So make your way off of your block or blanket. Extend your legs out in front. And we're just going to lean back into the hands and start to shake out the leg bone from the hip socket. Just shake it out a bit, lift up through the heart, maybe look up, or just keep your gaze forward. Shake it out. Few point and flex the toes for just a moment. Spread your toes nice and wide. Scoot your leg bone back into your hip socket. Make your way into a staff posture here. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale. Let's start to draw the navel in on the exhale, and we'll start to make some circles with the ankles in one direction. Keep breathing. Keep lifting up through the crown of your head, gently pressing down through the palms. Switch directions. All right, shake it out once more. Let's swing the feet around and make our way into tabletop. So coming into a tabletop position, we'll do a few cat-cow movements. So making sure knees are under hips, wrists are under the shoulders. Look towards the top of your mat. Inhale. Exhale, draw your navel towards your spine. Inhale, start to lift up through the heart, look forward. Exhale, round the spine, tuck your chin to chest and drop your tailbone. Inhale back to center. Let's do that twice more. So just at your own pace. Once more. All right, so inhale here at center. Exhale, press your hips back into a nice active child's pose. Ears in line with the arms. Inhale back to tabletop. Exhale back to child. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale to child. Inhale to tabletop. All right, so from here, go ahead and step your right foot to the back of your mat. And you can keep the ball of your foot down on the mat. Idea here is to keep the belly engaged. So take a deep breath here. Inhale. Exhale, start to draw your navel toward your spine. And on your next inhale, lift that leg. Okay, so your heel and your hip are in line here. Try not to open the hips, but keep your hips nice and square. Hip bones pointing down towards the mat. Inhale, lift left arm. So opposite limb extensions. Breathe. Exhale, release. Inhale, look towards the top of your mat. Exhale, press your hips back, ears in line with the arms. Inhale to tabletop. Exhale, press it back. Inhale once more into tabletop. All right, from here, let's step the left foot to the back of the mat. You can keep the ball of your foot down. We're going to take a nice deep breath here, looking towards the top of the mat. Exhale, draw your navel toward your spine. On your next inhale, lift your left leg so that it is in line with your hip. Again, hip bones are down towards the mat, pointing down towards the mat. And when you're ready, maybe inhaling and reaching for the opposite wall with the right fingertips. Arm is in line with the ears. Let's take a few breaths here. And exhale, bring it back down. Inhale, exhale, press your hips back, ears in line with the arms. Inhale, tabletop. Twice more. Exhale, press the hips back. Inhale to tabletop. One more time. Exhale, press the hips back. Inhale, back into tabletop position. All right, so from here, we're going to inhale, step the right foot back. On your next inhale, reach your left fingertips towards the opposite wall. Inhale. Exhale, draw the navel toward the spine. On your next inhale, lift your right leg. Inhale. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale to re-extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, re-extend. One more time. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale to re-extend. And then exhale, bring your hand and your knee back down to your mat. Inhale, look towards the top of your mat. Exhale, press the hips back. Active child's pose, ears in line with the arms. Inhale, back into tabletop. Exhale, press it back. Inhale to tabletop. One more time. Exhale, press the hips back, ears in line with the arms. Inhale, back into your tabletop position. Now, if you're having some difficulty with staying on the knees for too long, maybe it's a little too hard, I usually use a couple of mats here, but you can also place a blanket under your knees just for a little extra cushion. So let's do the other side. So we're coming back into our tabletop position. We're going to step the left foot back this time. All right. So reaching right fingertips towards the opposite wall. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, draw your navel in. Inhale, lift that left leg. Exhale, draw the navel in. Inhale. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, re-extend. One more time. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale to re-extend. Exhale, drop your hand and your knee back down to your mat. Look towards the top of your mat. Inhale. Exhale, press your hips back once more. Let's go ahead and come into a nice relaxed child's pose here. So relax your forearms. Relax the tip of your forehead on your mat. And just take maybe 3 breaths. Inhale back into your tabletop position. All right, so from here, we're going to inhale, reach the right fingertips high. Exhale, slide that right arm through. And instead of reaching for the top of your mat, maybe bring hands so that they're on top of each other, left hand on top of the right. Your head and shoulder are relaxed on your mat. And on your next inhale, open. Left arm, bring the left arm up high and reach your left fingertips towards the ceiling. Breathe. One more breath. Exhale, bring the left hand back down to your mat. Inhale, gently press into that left hand, slide the right arm back through, reach your right fingertips towards the ceiling, and exhale back down to the mat. Readjust yourself. And let's do the other side. So inhale, slide left fingertips towards the ceiling. Exhale, slide that left arm through. Stack your hands. All right, head is relaxed, shoulders on your mat. On your next inhale, you're going to start to reach the right fingertips towards the ceiling. So open up here. You shouldn't feel any pain. So if this is painful, just keep your hands stacked or keep your right hand on your mat. Let's take one more breath. Bring your right hand back down to your mat. And on your next inhale, gently press into that right hand. Slide the left arm back through. Left fingertips towards the ceiling. Exhale. Bring your hands back down to your mat. We're back in our tabletop position. Let's work on a little downward facing dog. So we're here in our tabletop. Easiest way to get into a downward facing dog and take from tabletop position is to tuck the toes under, lift the knees, and then press the hips back, straighten the legs, and start to press down through the heels. And since we're in our first downward dog, you can start to walk it out a bit. So just alternating heels towards the mat, breathing. Maybe your gaze is towards your navel. And then press both heels down for 3 breaths. If your heels don't make it all the way down to the mat, that's okay. Keep breathing here. Exhale, bring your knees back down to your mat. Press your hips back into child's pose. Tip of the forehead is relaxed on your mat. Sink your hips down or your seat down towards your heels, best you can. All right, inhale back into your tabletop position. So if you have a blanket close by, just bring it next to you. You may need it, or a block can be helpful as well. We're going to come back into our tabletop position, and we're going to slide the left knee between the hands. Tuck your back toes under and start to scoot your back knee, your left knee back. So you can stay here with your seat on your heel if you'd like. So we're in our little modified pigeon pose. You want to think about squaring off your hips here. And you shouldn't really feel any pinching in your low back, but we're going to stay here for just a moment. We're lifting up through the heart center and keeping the gaze forward. Keep your shoulders relaxed away from your ears for 3 breaths. Now, if your seat doesn't make it all the way down to your heel here, you can always use a blanket for extra support. So from here, On your next exhale, we're going to come all the way down to the mat. Here's another place where your blanket can be helpful. You can place it under your hand, your forearms here, or under the head. Let's go ahead and bring the head down to the mat or to your blanket or even to the tops of the hands here. Breathe. One more breath. All right, on your next inhale, we're going to just gently start to press our way back into that modified pigeon pose. And from here, we're going to tuck the back toes under, scoot the back knee back up, slide this left knee back, come back into your tabletop position. Let's do the other side. So on your next inhale, slide the left knee between the hands. And we're just going to scoot, tuck the back toes under and scoot the right knee back until you are resting on your heel. Or again, you can use a blanket here if your bottom doesn't make it all the way down to your heel. Let's take a few breaths here, just noticing that we're squaring off the hips. We're keeping our head out of this turtle shell. You don't want to sink down into your shoulders, but actually lifting up and out, lifting the heart, lifting the crown. A few breaths here. On your next exhale, we're going to make our way all the way down. So bringing forearms to the mat, you can stay here. Or you can stack the hands and bring your forehead to your hands. Let's take a few breaths here. On your next inhale, we're going to start to press our way back up. We're going to scoot the back knee forward just a bit, slide the left knee back. We're making our way back into our tabletop position. So readjust yourself so that your knees are under your hips and your wrists are under your shoulders. Look towards the top of your mat. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, draw your navel toward your spine. We're going to tuck the back toes under. We're going to come back into a nice downward facing dog. So inhale, lift the knees, press the hips back, press the heels down towards your mat. Let's take 5 breaths here. One more breath. Exhale, bring your knees back down to your mat. Press your hips back into child's pose. Tip of the forehead resting on your mat. Forearms are relaxed. Inhale back into your tabletop. All right, so from here, we're going to try a different variation of pigeon pose. So if you need to stay with your bottom towards your heel in the first version, our modified pigeon pose, you can stay there, or you can try for a little deeper variation of the pose. So coming back into tabletop position, we're going to slide the right knee between the hands. We're going to scoot the left knee back. We're going to make sure that our hips are square, but from here, we're going to swing this right foot in. So wherever that is for you, if you're here, that's okay. Just square the hips. But maybe you're here and your hips are square, but you have a lot of space between the floor between your mat and your bottom. So just bring a blanket, place it under your hip, flex your right foot. Let's stay up here for just a moment. Inhale, lifting up through the heart, looking forward, 3 breaths. And on your last exhale, we're going to slowly make our way down to the mat. So forearms here on the mat is okay. If you can come all the way down, resting forehead on your hands. That's good. If you can come all the way down to the mat, wherever you're feeling good at here. Keeping those hips square, keeping a nice steady breath, even maybe allowing that exhale to be slightly longer than the inhale. One more breath. On your next inhale, we're going to unfold the arms, inhale our way back up. We're going to swing this right foot back in, slide that right knee back, and go ahead and make your way into child's pose from here. Take a few breaths. All right, making your way back into your tabletop position. Let's do the other side. So check your alignment in your tabletop. Slide your left knee between the hands. Scoot the right knee back. Now, again, you can stay here on your heel if you'd like. You can place a blanket in between the heel and the bottom, or you can swing the left foot in, square off your hips. And again, you can use that blanket in the space between your mat and your bottom, or your hip here. So pressing down into the mat, lifting the heart, looking forward. Hips are square. Let's take 3 breaths here. On your next exhale, making your way down to the mat. Forearms can be on the mat. Or you can go ahead and bring your head to your hands. Stack your hands. Place your forehead on your hands. And let's take 3 breaths here. Nice long exhales. On your next inhale, slowly making your way back up. Swing that left foot back in. And move the blanket out of the way. Slide your left knee back. And then go ahead and make your way back into your tabletop position once more. Sorry. Just check and make sure you all can see me, hear me. All right. So from here, after your, go ahead and make your way back to your tabletop position. Tuck your toes under, lift your knees, press your hips back one more time in our downward facing dog, pressing down through the heels. So pressing the sits bones back towards the back wall, looking towards your navel, breathing. Exhale, drop the knees, untuck your toes, sit back on your heels. Go ahead and come back to the heels. Sit up nice and tall from here. All right. So let's make our way down onto the belly. And we're going to do a little strengthening for the low back. So go ahead and make your way back down. All right. Bring your forehead down to your mat. And just hands are under the shoulders for a moment and start to shake out the hips a little bit. All right. So from here, we're going to bring our hands back so that the palms are down. All right, palms are down. Your forehead is resting on your mat. Your shoulders are relaxed. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, draw your navel toward your spine. And on your next inhale, go ahead and start to lift that right leg. Point through your toes and breathe. One more breath. Exhale, release. You can bring your hands back under your shoulders and start to shake out the hip bones the hips once more. Maybe even a few shoulder rolls can feel good here. And then let's do the other side. So bring your hands back down to your mat. Fingertips are pointing towards the back of your mat here. Forehead is resting on your mat. On your next inhale, you're going to lift the left leg, point through the toes. Breathe. One more breath. Exhale, release. Bring your hands back under your shoulders. Shake out the hips. All right, this time extend your arms overhead. All right, so we're nice and long on the mat here. Turn the hands so that the palms are facing towards each other. So palms are facing each other. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, draw your navel towards your spine. Your head is relaxed. On your next inhale, you're going to lift your right leg and your left arm. Let's just do it here with the head relaxed on the mat. If you want to lift your head, you can. Maybe look forward. One more breath. Exhale, release. Keep your arms extended, shake out the hips. And let's do the other side. So again, palms are facing towards each other. Inhale. Exhale, draw your navel towards your spine. And on your next inhale, opposite limbs lifting here. So we're going to reach Lift the left leg, point the toes towards the back wall. Inhale, right arm comes up, maybe your gaze is forward. Maybe you just keep your head relaxed on your mat. So whatever feels good to you. Breathe. Exhale, release. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Shake out your hips. On your next inhale, gently press into your hands. Lift, press your hips back. Extended child's pose here for just a moment. Slide the hands back beside the knees. On your next inhale, roll yourself back up one vertebrae at a time. Head will come up last. Inhale, exhale. Give a few shoulder rolls here. Let's go ahead and come to the top of the mat. Come to the top of your mat with your knees bent. Grab behind the knees. Sit up nice and tall. Lift up through your crown. Nice deep breath in. Exhale as you lean back. Tuck your tailbone. Make your way onto your back and go ahead and draw your knees towards your chest for a moment. Give a little rock side to side. And then just a few knee circles in both directions. One more hug. Inhale. Exhale, hug that right knee in and extend your left leg. Inhale. Exhale, switch. Inhale. Exhale, hug both knees once more. Inhale as you press your knees away. Extend your legs the length of your mat and reach your arms overhead for a nice full body stretch. Bend your knees. Make your way over onto your side body, and then just gently press your way back into a seated posture. Sit up nice and tall. Nice deep inhale from here. Exhale through the mouth. One more time, inhale. Exhale through the mouth. Bringing our hands together at heart center. Thank you for joining me this afternoon for beginner yoga. Peace and blessings to you all. Have a lovely rest of your week and a happy Thanksgiving. Namaste.